Are we live? Are we live? I know I gotta moisturize my situation a little bit. Gotta moisturize my situation. Don't want y'all looking at my ashy lips while I'm talking. Are we live? Are we live? Hey, friends. Hey, financial besties. What's up, y'all? I feel like I'm a little rusty. I haven't been on live in a minute. I'm clicking around trying to see where the buttons are for things I want to see. But anyway, the topic that we are going to talk about tonight, I got this idea because I was watching a video. I think it was called The 3 Levels of FU Money. And the creator was Invest in Yourself. And he described the 3 levels as having enough money to stop living paycheck to paycheck. The second one was to take a sabbatical or quit your job for more fulfilling work. And the last one was to become completely work optional. I'll link to the video in the description, but I liked the video because I liked the way he summarized the levels and it reminded me of my own financial journey. And then I started thinking about all 7 stages of money that I experienced when I was pursuing financial independence. So in this video, I want to share those 7 stages. And as we talk about each stage, you may see yourself in one of them. But more importantly, I want to help you determine like what actions you need to take if you want to go to the next level. How's that sound? Y'all with it? Cool beans. I'm sure you are. Let me see who's with me. Let me see who's with me. Who am I talking to tonight? Hey, financial besties. How you doing? How you been? It's been a minute since I've been live. I think I missed the last 2 or 3 weeks. See what had happened was, y'all, I got a valid reason. I promise I do. This 12-hour time zone difference, it's catching up to me. And I think it's been harder lately because I've been coaching 3 nights a week. And when I manage my business, I try to maintain everything on East Coast time so that I'm consistent with my clients and my client schedule, no matter where I am in the world. So when I coach, I have to get up at 6 a.m. to be ready by 7 a.m. So that's the 7 p.m. Eastern time. So by the time Friday rolls around, when it's time for me to do a YouTube live at 7 p.m., child, ain't got nothing left. Ain't got nothing left because turning on an alarm clock to get up on time. I mean, unless y'all want to see me roll out of bed with my bonnet on, which I think I probably have been on on live with a bonnet on before, but I don't think y'all want to see all that. I don't think y'all want to see all that. But anyway, I'm here today. So who is with me? Who's with me? Let me say hi to my people. Hey, Venus. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, Elle. How you doing? How you been? Hello, BJ Jack. I don't think I've seen that name on the lives before. Hello. I'm so glad you're here. We have Angie Mobley. Hey, girl. Hey. And yes, BJ, I am in Thailand and it is 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. So yes, I am in Thailand. Look at Elsie said I saw you. I saw you out there making new friends. Hey, Sandra, if you join us live, our sister Elle said, hey, girl, hey. Yeah, Sandra is a sweetheart. Sandra is a sweetheart. Hey, Black Women Build Wealth. I saw you on Stephanie Perry's channel. Was it last weekend? It was so good. It was so good. I enjoyed that chat. We need to talk. I know that you left a comment on my channel saying we needed to do something together. I definitely want to do something together. We need to collab. Let the people see Black women collabing. Yes, yes. Eileen, hey girl, hey. Hey, did I say hello to everyone? I think I did. I think I did. Hope I didn't miss anyone. But if you are, and wait a minute, and if I missed you, put some money babies in the chat so to catch my eye real quick. Put some money babies in the chat. Flood the chat with the money babies. Y'all know we all about making money babies over here. But if you are watching live, I'm glad you're here. If you're watching the replay, I'm glad you're here too. Comment with your replay, money babies. I love to read y'all comments after the video is over. But whether you're live or watching the replay, you all are my financial besties and I love y'all. And if you're new to me, hey girl, hey to you too. My name is Malika and I am a money coach and your new financial bestie. I decided I needed to start sharing more of my story and why I became a money coach. So BJ Jack, you okay, you never chatted. Oh, well, welcome. I'm thankful that you are on live this time. But I decided to become a money coach because I felt called. I felt led to be the person I wish I had years ago. And the reason why I say that is because while many of you may have been enjoying your teenage years with the parties and the prom, the senior prom, and going on trips with your friends for spring break, Malika was over here becoming somebody's mama. And I was on welfare for almost 10 years. Girl, my finances were in the gutter. You hear me? My finances were in the gutter. So anything you are currently experiencing with your finances, I'm pretty sure I've experienced it too, and I understand where you are. But after establishing my career and learning how to invest in the stock market, I achieved financial independence and I was able to retire early from my career in my 40s. In my 40s. So you hear me, on welfare for 10 years and still retired early in my 40s. That should tell you the power of the stock market. But since I retired, I've been soul traveling the world, learning how to reduce stress. I have so much American conditioning that I'm still trying to overcome because I'm no longer on the hamster wheel, but my mind is still conditioned for the hamster wheel life. But I'm learning how to reduce stress and improving my quality of life. So now in this phase of my life, I enjoy helping women like you learn to invest so you can achieve financial independence and live whatever it is that you love. So if that sounds like your vibe, then I invite you to join my tribe, subscribe to my channel, and tap that notification bell while you're down there so you will be notified the next time I upload a new video or go live, which I tend to do sometimes on Friday nights at 7 p.m. So welcome to all of my new financial besties. I'm so glad you're here, whether you're on the replay or here live like BJ Jack. Hey, y'all. So let's get into the topic. Giving full credit to where the 7 stages come from. This is not something I made up myself. It's a guy in the FIRE community. So FIRE is the Financial Independence Retire Early community. And I spent a lot of time in that community learning about FIRE on my journey to financial independence. But a guy by the name of Grant Sabatier, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right to give proper credit, but he coined the concept of the 7 stages of money. And basically, as you progress through the stages, you'll see that your relationship with money changes. So you may begin your financial journey viewing money as like a source to meet your basic needs or to buy things that you've always wanted. But as you progress through the stages, you will begin to view money a little differently. So it will no longer be seen as a source to buy stuff. You'll start viewing money as a tool to give you more choices. So, for example, if you are an investor, if you are an investor, you will realize that investing gives you more freedom. And how much you invest determines how many months of freedom you can buy. So instead of buying purses and shoes and all the stuff that make you look rich, you'll start viewing money as the tool to buy your freedom so that you can enjoy whatever you love. If you want to really look rich, if you want to really do all the things that you probably couldn't afford to do when you were, buying the stuff and putting it on a credit card, when you have that freedom and you have the money, you can really buy all those things if that's something that you love. But usually your relationship with money evolves and you no longer desire those things because you value your freedom even more and how much of your freedom, or I should say, how long of your freedom you can buy, right? So, based on your current finances, how many months of freedom do you think you can buy? Let me know in the comments. But here are the 7 stages of money. Let's get into it. I'll check out the comments as we're going along. But y'all know what? Hold on. I don't mean to get off topic. My lips still feeling a little ashy, so I'm gonna use this. My mom, she gives me the most practical gifts, and I love it. Y'all mom anything like mine? Before I left for this trip that I'm on right now, I've been slow traveling. I promise I'm gonna get back on topic, but I've been slow traveling since summer. So I've been gone about 5 months, 5 or 6 months. And when I was getting ready to leave, she handed me a whole bunch of these. It's like little mini Vaseline jars. And when she handed them to me, I was like, what is this? And I just took them and just threw them in my bag and didn't think twice about them for months. How about I'm using this every day? Because I realized it moisturized my lips better than the chapstick I was using. I was like, Mama be knowing. Mama be knowing. Your mom like that, where she gives you like practical things, like she can foresee what you may need before you go somewhere or before you do something. But my mom gives me the most practical things all the time. And I'm usually side-eyeing her when she give it to me. But 9 times out of 10, no, let me stop lying. 10 times out of 10, I need it and end up using it. And I'm thankful that she gave it to me. But anyway, back to the topic. That works. I should have used that first. But anyway, stage 1. Stage 1 of money. Hey, Sashana. Hey, girl, hey. Stage 1 of money is financial dependence. Financial dependence. And this is more like survival mode, right? In this stage, you may rely on external sources for financial support, whether it's family, friends, but think of government assistance too. So that's how I relate to this stage. The first 10 years of my young adult life, I was receiving government assistance from every source you can possibly imagine. I won't even go into all the details again. If you've heard my story before, every source you can possibly imagine, I received it. And I have no regrets and no shame either. It's part of my financial story. It is what it is. But I was definitely in survival mode. I was in survival mode. I can't even say living paycheck to paycheck yet. That's actually the next stage because I wasn't living nothing to nothing. I was in the gutter, completely dependent on other sources to help me survive, right? And this money stage, it's typical for minors and for children or even young adults that are in college, because you're still relying on your parents. But when you become a full grown adult and you're still in the financial dependence stage, that can be a little humiliating. That can be a little humbling, right? That can be a little humbling. Um, it makes me think about uh, a lot of people ask me, like, what was the catalyst or what was the one thing that changed the way I viewed money and how did I get off welfare? And I didn't really have like one thing that did it for me, but the thing that stands out the most was during a recertification appointment with a social worker in the welfare office. And that woman made me feel so ashamed. She made me feel so ashamed of my circumstances. And the things that she said wasn't necessarily true, but it made me reflect on what I had been doing for 10 years. And it triggered me. And it triggered me so much that it made me start looking at what I could do differently. And it made me double down on what I was already doing. I was already in school trying to earn a degree so I can get a better job. It just made me double down on that and made me more determined to finish it. But that trigger is what made me look at money differently and what made me get started on pursuing the next stage. And if you are in stage one financial dependence, a few ways that you can transition from this stage is one, acknowledge your financial dependence. I was on welfare for 10 years, well, almost 10 years, about 8.5 years. So I was on welfare for almost 10 years. And I think I normalized it. I think I normalized it because I knew so many other people that were on welfare and I didn't have the financial means to take care of my daughter. And I knew that option was available to help me do so. But I didn't view it as something that I should be doing differently. You know what I mean? But that moment in the welfare office, when that social worker shamed me, it helped me to acknowledge that I was a statistic, that I was another Black woman on welfare that didn't have the financial means to take care of her child. It is what it is. I felt shame in the moment, but that was the trigger that helped me to start looking at things differently. The second thing you can do is, barring any physical or mental disabilities. So I say that with a caveat because I know it's not possible for some people to transition out of the dependent stage. So I'm not talking about anyone that has a physical or mental disability, okay? So barring any of those things, determine how you can become self-reliant. So in my situation, that was earning that college degree. I started later in life. So while my friends were earning their degrees and walking across the stage at 21, 22, I was just getting started. I started late. But that was one of the ways that I knew I could become self-reliant. Even if you're starting late, or even if you're starting over. Let's say you were doing fine for years because you were married, you had a 2-income household, and you got divorced. So that pushed you back to stage one. You can start late and start over and still achieve financial independence. But you have to identify what you can do differently instead of accepting your circumstances for what they are. Identify what you can do differently to become self-reliant. And for me, that was earning that college degree. Even though I was late to the game, it didn't matter. I was determined to complete my college degree. And that's what helped me to establish what I call a real career. because I had, little random jobs here and there. I used to work at Walmart. I used to work in the mall. I used to do little jobs like that. But that degree helped me to establish what I consider a real career with a salary that had growth potential and real benefits, right? So that was the start of me changing the trajectory of my finances. And then lastly, establish your financial goals. Establish the financial goals that you have that will set the baseline for what you consider self sufficiency. So for me, I remember when I was a senior in college and the professor asked the class what was our salary goal. And because I had such limited and scarcity thinking at the time, my salary goal for life was just simply to make enough money to pay off my student loans. So I said my salary goal was the same number of whatever my student loan balance was. And I think back then it was like $40,000. So for my entire lifestyle, my goal, my baseline of self sufficiency was just simply to earn $40,000. And now in hindsight, I realize how limited my thinking was, but that was the baseline for me. So establish your baseline as a goal to becoming self sufficient. And even if it seems lofty right now, even if you are in this stage one and the goal that you desire seems lofty, put it on paper. Put it down on paper, say it out loud, journal about it so you can hear yourself say it, so you can read it. And when you see that goal, and if you see it over and over and over again, it's one of those things that it's more mental than anything. It's one of those things, once you see it and once you believe that it's possible, you start subconsciously taking steps, even if they're little tiny baby steps, to make it reality. So when I was still on welfare and still in school, the concept of making $40,000 a year and never being on welfare, I didn't know how I was going to make that happen. But because that was my goal and I wanted it, and I knew earning a degree will possibly help me do it. I wasn't for sure, but I knew it was possible. I knew I could possibly do it, but I needed that degree first. Then I started taking those baby steps. To make it possible. So those are some of the ways that you can transition out of the dependent stage. Acknowledge your dependence. Don't put your head in the sand. Don't normalize it, because it's not. It's not normal. If you're an able-bodied adult, it's not normal. I don't care what everybody around you is doing. It's not normal. And if you don't have any physical or mental disabilities, determine how you can become more self-reliant and establish your goals. That'll be the baseline for you to become self-sufficient. Stage two. Stage two is financial solvency. Financial solvency. This is the stage where most Americans are in. The vast majority of Americans are in this stage. And this is when you earn just enough to cover your basic needs without relying on external assistance. So it's still survival mode because you only one paycheck away from sliding back into stage one. But you can pay your bills now. You can pay your bills and you may not need help from mom and dad, help from your family and friends. Or in my case, I no longer needed the welfare assistance. Right? So financial solvency is having enough money to be able to take care of your basic needs. Right? My light just went off. Is the lighting okay? Let me know. Is the lighting okay? Or should I try to figure out how to plug this back up? I don't think that really made a difference. Let me know what y'all think. I don't think it made a difference. But okay. Thank you, Eileen. But this stage two, I'll just take it off. This stage two is financial solvency, where you have enough money to at least just pay your bills and you're not relying on anyone to pay your bills. But a few ways to reach the solvency stage, if you are in stage one and you want to get to stage two, plan for your essential expenses. Plan for your essential expenses and prioritize those first. And that may be that B word that y'all never hear me talk about. That may be that B word y'all never hear me talk about. And two, build a safety net. Build a safety net. And this is where you start saving a little bit, right? This is where you start saving $10, $20 from your paycheck. You don't have enough excess to save a lot. And you may not be able to build an emergency fund yet, but put a little bit aside, whatever you can afford, to start building a safety net. So when the unfortunate event may happen, you won't slide back into stage one as quickly. So start putting aside a little bit of change, $5 here, $10 there, $20 if you got it. And that will help you to reduce your dependency on others. But make sure you're prioritizing your essential expenses. So on payday, we're not eating out. We're not eating out. We're not eating out. We're thinking about what essentials we have to pay for first. So prioritize your essentials and then save what you can so that you're no longer dependent on other people. And for me, during that stage of my financial journey, I flip-flopped back and forth, to be honest. I flip-flopped back and forth because I would make a little money that was enough to pay my bills. But because I wasn't planning for my essential expenses, like planning ahead for them, when I would pay the bills, I would spend the rest. So if any little slight inconvenience happened or anything that I didn't expect happened, when it came time to pay for my essentials again, I didn't have it. Because what little I had left went to that unexpected situation that arose. I wasn't putting anything away. I would pay my bills and spend, pay my bills and spend, pay my bills and spend. So any little wrinkle in life was making me slide back to stage one. And that's how that period of time I was on welfare was so long. It's not that I wasn't trying. It's not that I wasn't earning any money during that 10 years, but I wasn't prioritizing my essentials and I wasn't putting any money away to create a safety net for myself. So every time something happened that I didn't anticipate, that I didn't expect, when it came time to pay my essentials again, I didn't have the money for it. So I would slide back into stage one. So prioritizing your essentials and building that safety net. That's how you can make sure you don't slide back into stage one and you can prepare to start entering stage three. But most Americans, the vast majority of us, get to stage two and never move beyond it. The vast majority get to stage two and never move beyond it. Right? But stage three is financial stability. Stage three is financial stability. At this stage, you're starting to balance your income and expenses. You have a little more than you need. You don't overdraft your checking account anymore. Y'all, I remember getting those notifications that my account was overdrafted and the bank would charge me like a $25 overdraft fee. Yo, if I ain't got the money to cover what I spent, where am I getting $25 from to cover this overdraft fee? But in this stage of financial stability, you're not doing that anymore. You're more aware of your finances. And if you have debt, which in stage two, that's where most debt is accumulated. Because when those unexpected things happen and you're not prepared for it, you haven't put anything away to create a financial safety net, you start swiping that credit card, putting it on the credit card. But in this stage of financial stability, because you've balanced your income, Bank of America charged $35. Girl, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Mm, 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 mm. But in this stage, you're balancing your income and expenses. You're more aware of your finances. You don't overdraft anymore. And you want to start paying off your debt. In this stage, you're no longer in survival mode, even though you still feel like it. Because if you're anything like me, you spent so long in stage 1 and 2, it still feels like it. So you're still doing survival mode things, but you're starting to think about your financial future. Some Americans get to this stage. Some of us get to this stage 3. But most of us are in stage 2, or we teeter-totter between stage 2 and 3 and never get any further, right? But a few ways to reach this stability stage is to create a realistic spend plan. And I use the word spend plan instead of budgets because budgets include cookie cutter categories and cookie cutter percentages. And you're like trying to force your lifestyle into categories and percentages that someone else determined that's how much money you should spend in that category. That never works. That never works. If budgets work for you, put in the chat to let me know. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. How's that budget working out for you? I teach my clients to create a realistic spend plan. And I call it a spend plan because you're planning to spend your money in a way that's aligned with your lifestyle. You're planning to spend your money in a way that's aligned with what you value. I'm a slow traveler. I don't work. The budget says we should spend this much on housing, we should spend this much on food, we should spend this much on transportation. If I did that, if you did that, our budgets will look exactly the same if we earned the same amount of money. How much sense does that make? How much sense does that make? None, because our lifestyles are completely different. So a spend plan aligns your money with who you are as a person, with what you value as a person. If you're a foodie and the budget says you should spend 10% on food, 15% on food, if you're a foodie, I expect to see 30% spent on food. That's what you value. If you're a traveler and the typical budget says you should spend 5% on travel, for what? You're a traveler. You love to travel. If your budget allocates 15% of your income to travel, that's fine. That's what I consider a spend plan, when it's tailored to your lifestyle. And something that's tailored to your lifestyle, and you're not trying to force your money into a square, and your lifestyle is shaped like a circle, that's not going to work. But if you create a spend plan around your lifestyle and your values, you get to ease into it. It fits like that good pair of jeans, and it no longer feels restrictive because you're not forcing yourself to live like somebody else. Your budget shouldn't look like mine. Your spend plan shouldn't look like mine. We're different. Our lifestyles are different. Our values are different. So creating a realistic spend plan is the first step to getting into the stability stage. And you want to make sure it's realistic for your lifestyle and give every dollar that you earn a job. All right. The second thing to get to the stability stage is reduce the usage of credit cards. If you have not built the discipline to pay off your credit card balance in full, when the statement closes every single month, reduce the usage of your credit cards and start paying off the balances that you currently have. And the last thing in this stage that's essential to this stage is establishing that emergency fund, which I should stop using that word too because it has such a negative connotation. I like the idea of like rainy day funds and sunny day funds, right? Rainy day funds and sunny day funds, because that gives you the flexibility to respond to unexpected, unfortunate events. And instead of them becoming a financial catastrophe, they just become a little minor inconvenience. And then that sunny day fund is for the fun things that you also didn't plan for the fun things that you also didn't expect, right? You get that phone call from your girlfriend, girl, I said yes. I would love for you to be my bridesmaid. You didn't know that was going to happen. Being in somebody's wedding is expensive. But that's where the sunny day fund comes in, right? Because you don't want to go back into credit card debt doing the fun stuff with your friends. So having a rainy day fund and a sunny day fund, it helps you to prepare for the unexpected, whether it's good or bad, right? Whether it's good or bad. So do you see yourself in any of these levels yet? We've only talked about 3. I want to pause here for a minute because this is where most of us stop. This is where most of us stop, and we rarely are able to get beyond it. Or we get to financial stability and think it's good enough. Or we get to financial stability and we think it's good enough. All right. So let me check out the comments. But Eileen, girl, I did not know Bank of America was charging $35 for that overdraft fee. Now that made me almost choke. Black women build wealth. Why is it so hard to get out of stage 2? That's a good question. That's a good question. I think part of the reason, let's go back to stage 2. So stage 2 is financial solvency. So you have enough money to cover your basic needs. You can pay your bills, but you're still in survival mode. If our society, our government would stop pushing consumerism. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe in accountability and self-responsibility. But when you live in a society that normalizes consumerism, that makes you feel inadequate or less than if you don't have this or don't have that, you subconsciously start desiring things. Even if it's not something you value, you start desiring it because our society encourages you to want it, to have it, to buy it, even if you can't afford it. So as you are trying to build your money to get to the next stage, that influence is always in our ears, whether it's on the TV with the commercials, whether it's on social media with the ads. Everywhere we go, everywhere we look, there's noise in our ears that's telling us to buy this, buy that. You need this. You need to do this to look better. You need to do this to have better skin. You need to do this to have better hair. It's like we're getting these messages that tell us we're not good enough. And we spend money to buy the things, to do the things to make us feel better. Money that we don't have. So we accrue the debt to fill the gap. And then we constantly teeter-totter between the first 3 stages. So that's my opinion of it. Tell me what you think. I think that's why it's so hard to get out of stage 2. But tell me what you think, sis. Sashana said she's definitely at 2.5. But baby, we're working on it. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear you're working on it. So we're going to talk about stage 4 in a minute. But where you are, you're not alone, sis. Most people teeter between 2 and 3, and they usually stay there. They usually stay there. It's a budget of garbage. I think so too. I think so too. I don't budget. I don't teach my clients to budget. We don't budget. And this is why budgets don't work. This is why budgets don't work. You budget in a reactive way instead of a proactive way. A spend plan that's tailored to your lifestyle is more proactive because you're considering what's unique to you and you're planning in advance. Right? With the budget, you're putting yourself in these cookie cutter categories the way the gurus said you should. And then because you haven't planned for the regular parts of life, which is a whole nother part of the spend plan I coach my clients to create, we plan for an entire year. And most people, when they first hear that, when they're new to me, they're like, what do you mean for an entire year? And then once they learn how to do it, once they learn my process and start using my financial system, they're like, what? Haven't I been doing this my whole life? When you plan in advance and you're planning based on real data that's tailored to your lifestyle, you're proactive even with the unexpected things that happen in life. Instead of being reactive, when you don't plan for things, you have to be reactive to those unexpected things in life. And that's what causes you to build your credit card debt because you're reacting to life. In one of my coaching sessions this week, one of my clients, she wants to become a homeowner. So we were talking about her goal and we were kind of laughing and joking. There were some other homeowners in the group. And one homeowner said she spent almost $15,000 this year on home repairs and home maintenance. And we were like, oh my God. It didn't set her back. And she had no credit card debt because of it. Because in her spend plan, she's learned how to use the tools I taught her to be proactive. To be proactive. At the beginning of 2023, she didn't know that she was going to have $15,000 in home maintenance expenses this year. She did. Well, my screen just went black. Home maintenance expenses, but she did. And because she was proactive with her planning, that emergency just became a minor inconvenience. She wasn't happy about it, but it didn't change the flow of her life because she has a plan and she isn't reactive. So that's real. That is real. And that's how most people budget too. So thank you for sharing that. Sashana said they feel incredibly restrictive. Are you talking about budget? Yeah. And after budgeting for a few months, I start to overspend hard because you restrict yourself for so long. You finally get to the point where you feel financially oppressed. And then you get to a point where you're like, I can't do this anymore. And you start overspending because you have all these built up desires that you've limited yourself from experiencing because you will live in such a restrictive life trying to fit your circle into a square box that someone else created for you. I get it. And then that creates the cycle. So we have someone that actually says budgets work for her. Okay. She said, budgets work for me, but I adapt it to my life. That's exactly my point. So you are not budgeting. You have a spend plan. If it is tailored to your life, you have a spend plan. Now, it might not be as detailed as this financial system that I use, but the fact that you've tailored it to your lifestyle, that's a spend plan, right? You're not using the cookie cutter budget that Dave Ramsey created, the little spreadsheets you can find on the internet, and you just fill in the blanks with your numbers. We ain't doing that, sis. We ain't doing that. It works for you because it's tailored to your lifestyle. I love it. I love that for you. Yes. It gives you more control over your money, right? BJ Jack says, I'm trying to teach my daughter to pay her CCs off early. Yeah. The problem with that for most people is you accumulate the CC debt and you try to start paying it off, but you haven't addressed the underlying problem that caused the CC debt, right? If you don't address the underlying problem that led to the credit card debt, it's going to be very difficult to pay it off. Or if you do pay it off, you're still going to repeat the same cycle all over again. And that's one of the reasons why just the thought of it just hurts my heart. When I hear people say they're taking out a home equity loan to pay off their credit card debt, girl, you are using your most valuable asset to pay off credit cards, but the root cause still hasn't been addressed. So you run those credit card balances up again. The first step is what we just talked about. Address your spend plan first and make sure it's tailored to your lifestyle so you can see where your money is going. If you're blind to the details, all the other financial strategies that's beyond the basics, they don't matter because it's not sustainable if you haven't addressed the underlying root cause first. If you're still reactive to life, like someone else mentioned, if you're still reactive to everything, you're just going to run the credit cards up again. All right. So before she will be able to pay off her credit card debt and not accrue credit card debt again, she probably needs to address the underlying cause and create a spend plan that's tailored to her lifestyle. Eileen said she's in between levels 2 and 3. So she's at 2.5. Yeah, that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal. BJ Jack, she's trying to get out of stage 2. She's at 2.5. Yep, see, that's pretty normal. Even this chat here is representative of what's normal. Yeah. Let's see, Venus said I'm at level 3, but I want to push forward to higher levels. Yep. Lashana, you can escape consumerism. It's on social media and music and movies and shows and girl, you can go on and on and on and on. It's a lot. Yeah, it's hard to break free. It really is. It's hard to break free. Consumerism is everywhere. And the marketing for consumerism, it doesn't market the product or the service. Notice it markets your feelings. It markets to your feelings, how you feel about yourself, your confidence. It markets to something that is triggering in you to make you want to buy those things. That's excellent marketing. But yeah, that's how it gets to you because it addresses a root issue that's deep inside and makes you separate with your money. It's hard to escape it. I agree. Eileen says she's a stage 2.5. I'm more aware of my finances and financial future. Still a little lopsided with the expenses and needs. Yep, I get it. So I hope the tips that I gave after the stage to help you move on to the next stage, I hope that was helpful. Y'all let me know if this was helpful. If it is, hit the like button. If it was helpful, hit the like button and share this video with a friend. Share with a friend. Hey, C. Saunders. Let's see. I think the environment you are in does matter. If everybody around you is at stage 1, chances are you'll be around that stage. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, when I was on welfare, I didn't see anything wrong with it because everyone around me was getting some form of welfare. So how are you supposed to know that you can manage your money differently or that you can grow from your current stage and move on to the next stage unless you're around people who are in the next stage, unless you are hearing conversations from people who are pursuing the next stage? Until you surround yourself with that new language, with that new lifestyle, you normalize where you are. It becomes comfortable and you accept it for what it is. Yeah, I agree. Ooh, child, Christmas is all about consumerism. Talk about it. Talk about it. Yeah. I've tuned out a lot of the spin, especially on beauty products. You need 7%. You need 7 different products just to clean your face. Girl, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. The girlies be out here with all the products, doing the cutesy little videos, showing the little labels, showing the little faces. In fact, I have noticed more influencers on social media doing videos, even if it's not a beauty brand. It could be a travel brand, a travel influencer. And she will do videos talking about travel, but in the video, she's doing the 7 steps of cleaning her face. I'm like, girl, what is all that you using? What is that? But yeah, when people ask, how do you get your skin so clear? What do you do? What's your regimen? Genetics, water, a cleanser, one cleanser, and moisturizer. And if push come to shove, and I don't have my favorite moisturizer, look, what I tell y'all my mama gave me. I will put Vaseline on my face. Can't nobody tell me it's wrong because my grandmother was greasing me down with Vaseline for years when I was a child. And if my grandmother was doing it, it's a-okay with me. It's not my first choice. But honey, if I have nothing else, I will put Vaseline on as a moisturizer. I ain't buying them expensive products and using all 7 stages. And I ain't got time for that. Drink your water. Drink your water and mind your business. That'll clear your skin up. That'll clear your skin right on up. Let's see. Budgeting, especially extreme budgeting, is like dieting. Yes, like a crash diet. If you restrict yourself too much, you end up binge spending and binge eating. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that. This will be the last one, and then I'll move on to stage 4. Let's see. The tips to get into the next stage are absolutely great and helpful. Good. Good to hear that. Good to hear that. Yes. Ishmael said, I need inflation and rents to go down, girl. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Rents are not going to go down. Now, inflation will go down. It will go back to its normal percentage, like 3%. 3% is normal. Prices are always going to go up. But I don't think rent's going to go back down. Them landlords ain't taking us back to 2019 prices. So you're going to have to adapt, sis. You're going to have to adapt. Adapt, money babies. Exactly, Venus. Soap, water, and lotion. I got. That's all I got. And if I ain't got no lotion, I got Vaseline. Exactly. But y'all like this video. Hit the like button if this information has been helpful to you. And share the video with a friend. Get to level 2 and then start teeter-tottering between levels 2 and 3. So let's move on to level 4. Level 4. 1 was financial dependence, remember? Was financial solvency. 3 was financial stability. Level 4 is financial security. Level 4 is financial security. This is when you have new debt. You have that 3 to 6 month emergency fund. You've paid off your high interest debt. May not necessarily be completely debt free, but you've paid off your high interest debt, right? That emergency fund, and you start investing. You start investing and you're able to think beyond today, right? Most people never get to this stage because they are reactive to life. One of you mentioned, and you're never always happening. So most people never reach this stage. But if you are stage 3 and entering stage 4, it means you have the stable finance. You have no, or I shouldn't say no, you have very little high interest debt. You have that emergency fund, and you're able to start thinking about your financial future. You're able to start thinking about investing and planning for your future. For those who don't know, I have a group coaching program called Invest with Ease. And I invite you to get on the email list for the group coaching program if you're interested in learning how to invest. And I teach new investors how to invest with ease so that you are not having to spend hours doing research, so that you're not stressed out, so that you're not overwhelmed with information. And so you don't have that anxiety when you think about, oh my goodness, the stock market is like gambling. I'm going to lose my money. I teach you strategies on how to manage your risk. I teach you the fundamentals of the stock market. I teach you how to invest in a way that does not require a lot of your time. So, Invest with Ease is the group program that I offer once per quarter. I'm currently wrapping up the Q4 cohort, and we've been having so much fun. I have one client in the group. I don't know, y'all heard me. I don't know if y'all heard me talk about her. Did I share on the community page her growth? Or I may have shared that on Instagram. I don't remember. But it's a 23-year-old sister. I love it when I'm able to reach people that early, because if I can teach you how to invest that early in your life, it's a life skill that will pay in compounded dividends for years and decades to come. It's like you're guaranteed to become a millionaire if you start investing that early. So when she joined the program, I was so excited. And I poured so much into her. And in our last session, she said she was scared of the stock market initially. And now she knows how to invest and she's more confident. And I was like, oh, because to learn this skill at 23, a life changing skill at 23, baby, she just changed her whole family's financial trajectory at 23, and she don't even know it yet. I have another client in this cohort. She was actually already an investor. In fact, she's a trader. And I was wondering why she joined the program, right? Because I was like, I'm not sure what value I can provide to you if you're already an experienced investor and you're already trading. Because trading is like next level. Trading is above investing. You have to understand the fundamentals of the stock market to be a profitable trader. But she joined the program, and in the last session, she said she actually prefers my investing strategy. She actually prefers the way I invest. She said, number one, because it's easier. And she didn't realize investing could be so easy. And also, number two, it's less overwhelming. She was talking about her process for trading and all the data that she has to analyze and all the things that she has to do and the watch list and the charts and all the things. She was talking about how that can get so overwhelming, all the noise that you have to keep up with. And she was like, the way you just taught us is so much easier. So to hear an experienced investor come through my program and say that, and say that's the value she received from it, girl, I know I can help anybody learn to invest confidently and with ease. So I invite you to get on the email list. Let me drop the link. Hold on. I think I have it here. Yes. So I invite you to get on the email list. Enrollment is not open right now. I only offer it once per quarter. So get on the email list, because when I open enrollment, let me see if I can share this in the comments. Hold on. When I open enrollment, I am going to notify my email list first. And the reason why is because I keep the cohorts small. I like teaching in a small cohort because it creates a safe environment. Anytime you're talking about money, people have shame when it comes to money, and money is also emotional. So for me, one of the most effective ways to coach is to coach in a small cohort and also women only. I only coach women only. So sorry, guys. This is for women only. Like I said, I've been called to be the person that I wish I had years ago. And that is a woman to teach me how to manage my finances and help me to progress through these financial stages, these money stages I'm sharing with you. So it's women only and it's a small cohort. So I release the information to my email list first. And before I continue talking, let me drop this in the comments so y'all can have that. Here we go. That's better. So I release the information to my email list first. So when I drop that link, when I say it's open for enrollment, sign up, get your spot because the cohorts are small. And also, I usually offer bonuses to the first few women that sign up. Usually, I do between 3 and 5. I'll offer bonuses to the first 3 to 5 women. So get on the email list. And when you see enrollment is open, when you get that link, make sure you sign up quickly to secure your spot. But in future videos, I am going to make sure I share, well, at least I'll ask the ladies if they want to come on the channel to share their testimonies and their experiences and what they got from the Invest with Ease program. But just from what they've been telling me in the sessions, it just warms my heart. It just warms my heart. And if they give me permission to share like some clips from the sessions, I'll probably share those too. But hopefully I can get them to come on the channel. But I have seen the transformations and I love it. And although I'm work optional and I don't really have to work to create more money, this is something that I do for the love of it. I'm passionate about it. And when I see your transformation, it's worth getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to be able to coach you at 7. So I make you a priority. Even if I miss my Friday lives, I make you a priority. So I will get up at 6 a.m. for you because I want to see that transformation in you. But anyway, so y'all have the link. Sign up for the email list if you're interested in joining the cohort that will open for enrollment next quarter. But if you are at stage 3 and you want to enter stage 4, here are some tips to reach the security stage. Very first thing, learn to invest. Learn to invest long term. You will not achieve your financial goals by saving. You won't. Saving is to establish your financial security, right? It's to establish your financial security so that you're not reactive to life. That's the purpose of saving, right? Or saving for a short-term goal that you'll need a large amount of cash for. That's the purpose of saving. But saving is not going to help you build wealth. Saving is not going to get you through stage 4. You need to learn how to invest. Investing is one of those lifelong skills that pays for itself over and over and over again. And I say that because money is just a tool. I have, at this phase of my life, I have completely detached myself from what money is because I don't really see money as a means of buying stuff, right? Money for me has bought my freedom. But investing for the long term, it allows you to have that freedom to relax, to woosah, to pursue whatever passions you have, to do all the things that you've been wanting to do, but you never have time to do because you're always working. Investing for the long term, it creates options. It creates options so that you can make the choice that's best for you and best for your family. If you're ever in a situation where, for example, your boss says you have to do this, and it's something that makes you really, really uncomfortable, you have choices. You have choices. That's what investing does. It's not just about money, having money. It gives you choices and it buys your freedom. And something else I wanted to share with you. It slipped my mind, but if it comes back, I'll share it. But it was an important point. But if it comes back to me, I'll share it. even if I have to circle back, because I wanted to make sure you knew about that. I'll circle back to it if it comes to me. But the other way to reach this stage on your financial journey is protecting your assets. So the assets that you do have, you are an asset. So the assets that you do have, your earning potential is an asset, right? So the assets that you do have, make sure you protect them with adequate insurance. So that's long-term disability insurance, for example. Your earning potential is an asset. If you're ever injured and you're not able to work, there is insurance that can fill that gap. So insurance is not just car insurance protecting your car or life insurance that, pays your beneficiaries a cash payout after you pass on. Make sure you have adequate insurance to protect your assets. That will help you to maintain your financial stability because life happens. Life happens. You want to be able to replace the value of the assets that you own. And I'm so glad I paused and I gave myself permission to circle back if the thought came back to me. The other thing I wanted to share about learning to invest long term and it being a lifestyle, a lifelong skill, is because, like I said, I've completely detached myself from money. And a lot of people, they say things like, they're afraid to invest because they're afraid to lose money. Or when some people like try to humble you and say, well, not everybody have money, so you shouldn't be talking about money that way. What if you lose it all? What if I do? I'm not afraid to lose it all. And the reason why is because I have the skills to rebuild it. Knowing the skill of investing, knowing a skill that can create money for you. It's a skill that no one can take away from you. It's a skill that is priceless because even if you lose the money, even if you have to spend it all on some unfortunate life event, you have a skill that can create the money again. If you're relying on your job, if you're relying on work, at some point in your life, you're not going to be physically able to work anymore. Depending on the complexity of your job and how much critical thinking you have to do, at some point in your life, you're not going to be mentally able to work anymore, right? So at some point, that money source is going to be cut off. But when you have a skill that can create money at any time, even if you lose the money, you still have the skill and you can make the money again. So learning how to invest, it helps you to detach yourself from money, not be so tight with money. And we'll get into it in one of the latter stages where you develop an abundance mindset because you have the confidence and the skill to create new money at any time. To me, there's nothing in this world that's more valuable than the knowledge that I have. There's nothing that's more valuable than the knowledge I have. You can take everything away. I can lose it all. I'm fine. I'm okay because I know how to create it again. Nobody can take my knowledge away. Nobody can take your knowledge away. What you know is what can create money, not your job. I don't need to go out to get a job to make money. I can make money with the knowledge and the skills that I have. You can do the same thing. So investing is a lifelong, life-changing skill. That can help you navigate the ebbs and flows of life, reduce the stress, because you can always create money. That's the thought I wanted to come back to. And I'm glad it came back to me because that was very important for me to share. But The learning to invest, protecting your assets, and also identify other ways to increase your income. You can't invest if you don't have any income to invest, right? So until you get to the point where you have that excess and that leverage, identify ways to increase your income. That can mean job hopping. For me, that's what I did. So that's why I mentioned that first. And I know for some generations, like my parents' generations, the boomers, job hopping was frowned upon. But baby, job hopping is what helped me become financially independent. Job hopping is what helped me 5x, five, did I 5x or 6x? Let's be modest. Let's just say 5x, but I believe it was 6x. Job hopping is what helped me 5x my income in like 7 years. I job hop because your boss gonna give you a little 2-3% raise every year. Even if you get promoted, you're gonna get a little 10% raise, but extra responsibility. Who wants that? Extra responsibility and extra stress for another 10%. Me, once I started a job, learned what I needed to learn, made an impact, completed like a major high visibility project, developed some new skills, I was ready to move on. I was ready to move on. What else can I learn? What else can I do? What else? What other impact can I make? I job hop a lot throughout my career. That's how I increased my salary so quickly. Job hop a lot. I rose through the ranks really quickly by job hopping, not by staying loyal. But another way to identify ways to increase your income is start a business. Start a business. Do you have a skill, something that comes naturally to you that you can monetize? Start a business. And in the world that we live in, with the social media, internet at our fingertips, it lowers the barrier to entry. Creating a business, serving other people to help them do something that comes easily to you, monetize that skill or freelance. So think about ways that you can increase your income so you have more money to invest and create more money babies. So you can create more money babies. So you want to widen the gap between your income and expenses. Some people in the fire community, they widen that gap by lowering their expenses. I'm not one of those uber super duper frugal people. So I never talk about frugality when I'm coaching. I wasn't frugal. If you're frugal, no offense. I apologize if I'm offending anyone, but I'm not a frugal person. I don't believe in living in scarcity anymore. I lived in scarcity for so long in my life. I just do not believe in that anymore. So for me, widen the gap between my income and expenses is keeping my expenses at a level where I was able to spend on the things I value, not excessive, but I was able to spend on the things that I value. But I also focused on this side of the equation, increasing my income. That widened the gap so I had more money to invest. And that's what helped to create the money babies, right? So learn to invest, protect your assets, and increase your income so you can create more money babies. Any questions? Any comments on stage 4? Let's see. Let me look. Hello, Kimmy. How are you? Got to head out early. Okay. Catch the replay. You're at the investing stage. Style by Chrissy. You're at the investing stage. Good. Good for you. Good for you. This is the fun stage of money. When you get into stage 4, this is the fun stage. I love it. Said you would like to invest in starting a business, but don't know where to start. You don't know where to start what? Investing or starting the business? What do you mean by that? Yeah. Starting early is golden in investing. Absolutely. Absolutely. My sister, 23 years old, when I saw her, I was like, yes, I wish I had someone like me when I was 23. I wish. Hey, Leslie. Hey, girl. Hey. How you doing? How you doing? Uh, Yes, we got to talk about asset protection. We're building these assets and then leaving them hanging out all willy nilly. That's how you lose it. When we build the assets, we have to protect them. And you are an asset too, because you are your earning potential. Whether that's earning money from a job or earning money by creating income from a skill, from your knowledge. So you have to protect you too. You are your greatest asset. But yes, any asset you own, make sure you're protected. Don't think that, oh, I don't have much, so I don't need insurance for that. Yes, you do. If you work hard to build that asset, if you use your time, your effort, your energy to build that asset, it's worth buying the insurance to protect it. Yes. Miss Harris says she loves the wisdom. Oh, thank you. Leslie. Yeah, you love the tips. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's get into the next. I've got the link, so I'm going to move this off of the screen now. So let's get into the next stage. So we talked about stage 4. That was financial security. Most people never get to stage 4. Most people never get to stage 4. So to hear you all say that you're investing and that you're entering stage 4, and I know a lot of people that follow me, they are entering stage 4 and learning to invest. I love it. I love it. So make sure you sign up for the email list, the Invest with Ease email list, so that you will know when the program is open for enrollment. And if you have any questions about Invest with Ease, you can drop them in the comments. I can answer those questions as well. But moving on to stage 5. Stage 5 is that stage that everybody wants to achieve. It's the stage that created the FIRE movement. It's the stage where you really start experiencing freedom. And stage 5 is financial independence. Noted that there are 7 stages. Financial independence is only stage 5, right? But this is the ultimate goal for most people, right? This is the goal because you have freedom, you have flexibility. I won't get into a lot of details with financial independence because I did a separate video on it recently where I explained financial independence and financial freedom in more detail. But at this stage, you have accumulated the financial resources to cover your living expenses without the need for employment. You no longer need that 9 to 5. You no longer need to bite your tongue when your boss pissed you off because you don't need the job. You have other streams of income that are enough to maintain your current lifestyle, that are enough to cover your living expenses without the job. So I like to say that's becoming work optional. Some people in the FIRE acronym stands for financial independence, retire early. I'm still in my 40s, so I'm not really considering myself retired. I'm just work optional because girl ain't got no job. I'm like Tommy from Martin. I ain't got no job. I make it seem like I do, but I ain't got no job. My friends ain't got no job. So you become work optional and you have the freedom to pursue your real ultimate goal. Because remember, money is just a tool, it's not the goal for life. You want to use the money to buy your freedom, which is the real ultimate goal. And once you're able to buy your freedom, then you can do all the other things that bring you joy. If that is sitting on your couch and eating bonbons all day, that is perfectly fine. I'll tell you, after I left my job and became work optional, I didn't want to do nothing but rest. I was tired. Tired. So if all you want to do when you become work optional is eat bonbons on your couch and watch Netflix, that is perfectly fine. You have the freedom to do whatever it is you want to do. Spend more time with your grandkids, travel the world, work on your garden, whatever it is. You have the time now because you're free. That's what this stage is about, right? That's what this stage is about. And a few ways that you can reach this stage after you have achieved that financial stability stage, you want to increase your investments. You want to increase what you're contributing. Like I know conventional advice tells us to save like 10% of our income. Sis, 10% is not going to get you to five. It's not going to get you to financial independence. In this stage, you want to increase your investments. At least the floor, the baseline should be 30%, 30% or more. Most people in the fire community, they usually strive to invest half of their income. That may not be attainable for most people, and it just may take you a little longer to reach five, and that's okay, because this is not a race. This is not a race. It's a marathon. It takes time to build the wealth, but it's a marathon with just you and you only. You are not racing anyone. You're not comparing yourself to anyone. But the baseline, if your goal is to reach fire, financial independence, you are going to have to stretch yourself a little bit more than normal. If you want to achieve what the average person does not, you have to do a little more than what the average person is willing to do, right? And one of the ways you can do that is either lowering your expenses or increasing your income, or both. Or both. When I was on the latter end of my FI journey, I did both. So the majority of my FI journey, I was focused on increasing my income. But when I was about 5 years out and I ran the numbers again and I saw how close I was, I did reduce my expenses without compromising my quality of life, without compromising the things I value. I've never been uber frugal. But one of the ways I reduce my expenses, and some of you, if you've been around for a minute, if you've been a financial bestie for a minute, you've probably heard me share this before. But one of the ways I significantly reduce my expenses is by lowering my cost of living. By lowering my cost of living, I reduced the things that I owned, the stuff that I had sitting in closets, the stuff that I hadn't used or touched for 2 years, but I was holding on to it for some reason. And once I got rid of a bunch of stuff, I realized I didn't need as much space in the home that I was in. So I was able to move to a smaller home and a little further out from the city, because real estate is all about location. The closer you are to the city, the more convenient things are, the more you're going to spend. So I moved to a smaller home that was a little further away from the city, same quality of life, same amenities, same luxuries, same comforts. So I didn't compromise anything. But by making that change, I significantly reduced my expenses while I was still increasing my income. So that was what helped me increase the gap even more. And I did eventually get to the point where I could invest 50% and more of my income. So in order to get there, what you're doing now that's comfortable, you may have to stretch yourself even more. You may have to stretch yourself even more. And you can be creative. You don't have to do anything extreme. You just need to be creative, right? And if you need help doing that, I can help you. But I don't do that in the group coaching program. I can help you in private sessions. And if you go to my website, moneycoachmalika.com, you'll see the link where you can schedule a call to work with me. We can do a consultation to see if my expertise is within the realm of what you need and to see how we can work together. But if you want what most people are never able to achieve, you're going to have to be willing to do what most people are not willing to do. Stretch yourself. Be creative, but stretch yourself, right? Another way to reach this stage is to combine. Well, not actually combine is not the word I'm looking for. Create different sources of income. Be creative in the way you are creating different sources of income. So it doesn't always have to be only from the stock market. You can invest in real estate, own rental properties, your interests that you earn from your savings accounts, your dividends that you earn from your investments, creating digital content. If you have knowledge that you can monetize, create a digital product that you can sell in your sleep. So be creative in thinking about ways to create passive streams of income. Diversifying your income. That's the word I should use. Create passive streams of income from different sources, because your income doesn't only have to come from your job, your employer, a way that you're exchanging your time for money. You can create other passive streams of income so that you have more money that you're feeding into the market to create more money babies, right? So this stage is about increasing your investments and being creative in how you're expanding that gap so that you can increase your investments. And that is how you're going to get to financial independence. You're not going to get there by just working a job and by just saving and investing 10%. That ain't enough. It ain't enough. Stretch yourself and be creative. Stretch yourself and be creative. Let me check in on the comments. Oh, that's awesome. You're loving the tips. You're loving the tips. Ooh, so you got some FIGO people up in here. Hey, Leslie. Got some FIGO people up in here. Visuals said no, because if I want to buy Chanel number 5, I'm buying it. So no frugality for me. No frugality for me either, girl. No frugality for me. I can't do it. I'm not splitting 2-ply toilet paper. I'm not reusing napkins. I just can't do it. I'm not washing Ziploc bags and washing paper plates. I bought paper plates because I don't want to do the dish. Okay? I'm not washing paper plates and reusing them. Oh, my screen went black again. Why is my screen going black? Is my internet connection? Can y'all see me? Still hear me? I've never experienced this before when my screen is going black. But call me wasteful, call me what you want. I'm not frugal. I am not frugal. And I will never try to be. It is what it is. If you are, go girl. But I'm not. Visual said she signed up to be on the email list. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Can you save, high yield, and invest? Absolutely. Can you save and invest simultaneously and 40% and still achieve 5? Yes, absolutely. You can save and invest simultaneously. This is a good question. I'm glad you asked this, because your savings have a purpose. Your savings have a purpose. It's to meet either a short-term need or to create that financial cushion that you need in stage 2 or 3, to give you some financial security, right? So like your emergency fund or the rainy day and sunny day fund that I talked about, right? But beyond that, all of your extra money should be invested. All of the extra money beyond those basic needs for savings should be invested. I don't believe you should save excess money. I don't believe you should have an excess amount of money sitting in cash, because those employees aren't working. That's just like, I don't know if I've used the word employees here on YouTube, but I do in my coaching programs. But I view the way you manage your money, your financial system, like running a corporation, right? And every dollar that you own is an employee in your corporation. So by having an excess amount of money sitting in cash, sitting in a savings account, that's like having an excess number of employees in a department that only need 5 employees, but you have 15. What are those 10 extra employees doing all day? And if you were a CEO, if you were that business owner, would you want employees on the clock wasting time and not helping you fulfill your mission? That's what you're doing when you let an excess amount of money sit in a savings account. It's not working. It's not working efficiently. And your incorporation, Venus Incorporated, your corporation has a mission, has a goal, right? And you want your employees working for you to achieve that mission. And if the employees in the savings department already have enough people in it, so those employees need to be reassigned to a new job where they're working harder for you to help you meet your mission. That makes sense? So yes, you can do both. But once you have adequate savings, investing should be your priority with the rest of your employees. Okay? But you will not achieve 5 by just saving alone. Because you're only going to earn, 4 or 5% with savings right now. 4 or 5% if you have a high yield savings account. The money is not going to compound enough for you to reach 5. You want to be investing. You want to be investing. Have savings for your cushion that you need and for your short-term purchases. But anything beyond that, make sure your employees are working for you. I hope that example helps. 50%. Yeah, that is pretty amazing. That is pretty amazing. But that's what most people in the fire community, or at least people who desire to reach 5, that's like the ultimate goal where you feel like, okay, now this is feasible once you're saving and investing about 50% of your income. So yeah, it is an amazing goal. That is amazing. Let's see, Kimmy. When I finally started to track my monthly expenses and saw that over $2,000 was going out towards consumer debt, I said, no more. Yes, girl. Paying off the debt so I can get to my freedom walkout. Yes. So imagine you had 2,000 employees in Kimmy Incorporated that was going to build somebody else's business. They were working to grow someone else's business. So your debt is actually someone else's passive income. Your employees in Kimmy Incorporated was helping to build Chase, Citi, American Express. It was helping to build their business. They already multi-million-dollar businesses. You giving your employees time off to go work for them. No, ma'am. 2,000 at that. No, ma'am. Those employees need to be reassigned. So yes, I'm glad that was a wake up for you. But you have to be aware of where your money is going in order to have that type of wake up call, right? Yeah. Okay, so I am freezing sometimes. That must be when my screen goes black. Okay. I've never experienced that before. It could be the internet connection. So sorry, guys. Sorry. Oh, and it's blurry too? The video is blurry. Oh. Yeah, I'm in Thailand. The internet has been decent, but not great, apparently. But yeah, so hopefully it's clear enough for y'all to pick up what I'm putting down, right? So I apologize for the quality of the video. I think, the next time I go live, I'm going to try doing it on my phone to see if that makes a difference. Yeah. So you're talking about me? You're welcome. You're welcome, Venus. Okay, so your high yield savings account is earning 5.3 now. Awesome, awesome. But if you were investing, you could be earning 10. That's the average. I think the stock market is up right now, year to date, 17%. Right? So save what you need for your financial security and for your short-term large expenses. But beyond that, put those employees to work. Started paying myself first 2 months ago. And it actually works. Whatever's left after paying myself and then paying my bills is what I've learned to live off. Yes, you got it. She just gave y'all all the game. She just gave y'all the game. Pay yourself first, pay the bills, and then live off what's left. And then live off what's left. That's it right there. In fact, if you're a type of person that don't like the budget, don't want to do a spend plan, don't want to do any of that, this is a strategy right here. Pay yourself first, pay your bills, and live off the rest. You ain't got a budget. You don't need a spend plan. If you're disciplined enough to do this, you don't need to do all that other stuff. But it's the game right here. Kimmy spilling the game in the comments for y'all. Yes. Kimmy sharing game with the besties. I had to get my savings up to help me mine my gap until 59 and a half, but I sometimes feel I have to move it to investing. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, are you talking about, okay, so you have your retirement accounts that you can't access until 59 and a half. So you started putting money in savings to fill the gap between the age you are now and 59 and a half. I think that's what you're saying. Is that what you're saying? Let me know in the comments, and then I'll circle back because I'll share what I did once I reach fire. Let's see. 19 years, I saved about 80% of my income. Woo! I love that. Wow, sis saved 80% of her income. What is 19 years? I'm not sure what that means, but that's amazing. That's amazing. I think the highest I ever got was about 70%. And I was only able to do that after I moved. So that move I told y'all about where I significantly reduced my expenses, that's what helped me get to 75%. I was determined. Once I saw light at the end of the tunnel, I was like, yes, I'm getting the fire. And I reduced my expenses to get to 70%, but I never got to 80%. That's amazing, Elle. That's amazing. I would love to have you on the channel and explain how you did that. That is amazing. Would you like to come on the channel and have a chat with me one week? Let me know. That would be an amazing conversation. And you go way back. You are OG financial bestie. You've been hanging tight with me since the early 2000s. So yes, I need to have you on the channel. Let me know if that's something you're interested in doing. Eileen said, yes, do some restructuring of the company so you can be profitable. Yes, restructure that company, reassign those employees to better jobs. And sometimes you have to lay off some employees too, right? Yes, restructure that company so it can be profitable. Yes. I love that analogy. My money are my employees and my company. Yes. Marlania Incorporated. Every dollar you earn is an employee in your corporation. And those employees need a job. Every employee should have a job. And think of it as you being the CEO. And you're telling those employees what to do to meet your business objective. Okay? Yeah, she's with. Oh man, I wish I was in the US to have my money gun. Goodness, that is amazing. Retiring next year. So, okay, so what you were saying is you redirected money to savings. Let me go back to your original comment. Oh, you redirected money to savings to fill the gap between when you retire at 57 to 59 and a half. Okay, I see what you're saying. But if you're retiring, you will be entering the drawdown phase. So why are you funneling so much money to cash? That might be more of a private conversation. I have more questions than comments. But I see what you're saying. I see what you did. But I understand. COVID, you're C19. Should have known that when you said C19. Completely forgot. Child, once you become work optional, when you start losing track of the days and times, your brain just start dumping information that you don't need anymore. All I'm thinking about right now is talking to you guys. And after we finish talking, I'm going to get a massage because my calf muscle, after all that walking I did yesterday, is screaming. So I need one of these Thai ladies to work it out. So my brain only focus on one thing at a time. You said C19. That was so obvious what you were talking about, but I didn't even get it. It went all over my head. But yeah, thank you for explaining. It makes me interpret money in a different way. I'm glad that helped. I'm glad that helped. Yeah. Okay, Elle, I see you. Let me know if you do. Go to my website, moneycoachmalika.com, and tap that link. Need to jump in the investment class. I want to be able to live wherever I want. That freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom. It's the best thing in the world. Yes. So get on the email list. Get on the email list so you will know when I open enrollment again. I know, isn't that amazing? She was investing 80%. But yeah, so let's get into this last stage. Wait, what number are we on? What number are we on? So we just finished 5, financial independence. Oh, so we have 2 more stages, actually. So stage 6 is the financial freedom, or sometimes it's referred to as financial abundance. So at this stage, not only do you have enough money and financial resources to cover your current living expenses without work, you have an abundance of financial resources. And because you have an abundance, not only are you able to meet your needs, your desires, your wants, your goals, your passions, your dreams, you also have an abundance that allows you to help others. That, to me, is the beauty of financial freedom. So many people, they view wealth as a bad thing, and they associate wealth with greed and selfishness. And if you have that negative association with wealth, that is subconsciously repelling wealth away from you. It's subconsciously repelling wealth away from you because you don't want to be seen as the type of person that you associate with wealth if it's negative. I view wealth and financial freedom as having an abundance to do things that are beyond my needs. My needs were already met back in stage 4. So I had a desire to continue to progress through the stages so that I could have an impact on others, so that I could help others, so that it's not an inconvenience for me when someone I love needs something. It doesn't create a financial constraint for me. My cup is so full with overflow now. I focus more on what I can do for other people because my needs are already met. At this phase of my life, other than me going through like my healing process and shedding some of the toxic behaviors that I learned from American society, right? And learning how to improve my quality of life, those soft things. But when it comes to money, the way I use my money now, it's beyond me. It's beyond me. So wealth is not selfishness. Wealth is not greed. When you have an abundance, you have an overflow that you can use to help others and to impact your community and to help your family, your loved ones, and causes that you believe in, causes that are important to you. And you can do that without creating a financial constraint, right? So some of the ways to reach the freedom and the abundance stage, after you have identified ways to create multiple streams of income, widening the gap, and investing a significant portion of your income so your money is making money, baby, so you don't have to work. Like our sister girl Elle over here, investing 80% of her income. Once you do all those things, all those practical things, in this stage, you are developing a financial abundance mindset. And this is easier said than done because a lot of people can reach stage 5, but still have a scarcity mindset. And this is why you see so much extreme frugality in the FIRE community. People can have millions of dollars in the bank and still splitting 2-ply paper towels. Right? But in this stage, that's when you develop an abundance mindset. You're thinking beyond yourself. You're thinking beyond your own needs. It makes me think about, y'all remember in school, we learned about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and the top of the pyramid was like self-actualization. That's how I view this phase. That's how I view this stage of the money game, right? Your basic needs, wants, and desires are already met. So in this stage, you're developing an abundance mentality and you're thinking about ways that you can help others, ways that you can benefit others, ways that you can use yourself to help other people have leverage to climb up, right? An abundance mindset doesn't think money is limited. Because you remember, in stage 5, I mentioned I can lose it all. But because of the skills and the knowledge that I have, I can create it again. Money is not limited. Money is in an abundant supply. It's out there, and I believe I can have it. I believe I have access to it, and I can get it in whatever amount that I want. I can create money without exchanging my time or labor. Right? So once you start believing money is in abundance, it's not limited, and you start developing an abundance mindset, that is when you start entering the stage of financial freedom. Stage 5 is independence, when you can meet your needs without working. But stage 6, financial freedom, that requires an abundance mindset, right? You don't believe having enough is good enough, because that's still just thinking about you. I have enough. I can pay my bills. I can live comfortably. It's me, 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 me. All about me. What's wrong with having an abundance? I was telling a friend yesterday, we were talking about money, and I told her, I said, establish a floor, but take the roof off. Take the roof off. Do not limit your earning potential. Do not limit your wealth building potential. It's okay to have a floor, a solid foundation, as low as you want to go. Having enough to meet your basic needs, but that shouldn't be where you stop. Enough, having just enough, that's scarcity. That's a scarcity mindset because you think money is limited, so you're happy to have just enough. Abundance is taking the roof off the house and knowing that there's more, because there's more you can do for others. It's not just about you anymore, right? And that leads me to the second part of entering this freedom stage. When you have abundance, you become a generous giver. When you have abundance, you become a generous giver. I don't mean you got $200 in your savings account and your family member call you and they need $100. And because you're generous, you give them 100, but then that sets you back because you got an expense coming up that was 200. That created a financial constraint. You don't have the abundance to give, right? But when you enter this freedom stage, you have abundance so that you can be a generous giver, and giving does not create any financial constraints. You have completely overcome the scarcity mindset. You no longer walk around with a tight fist, right? And when you walk around with a tight fist and you're not a generous giver, you see what the fist does? You can't receive either. You can't receive the abundance that's available. You can have a portfolio of $5 million, but if you have a tight fist, you can't receive another 5 million. And if you say, oh, 5 million is enough, that's scarcity mindset again. It's enough for you. It's enough for you and your family and your needs. What about other people that don't have the mental and physical capacity to build wealth? When you reach freedom and have abundance, you can use your overflow to help others that can't do it, to help others that aren't capable of doing it. You start thinking beyond yourself and you become a more generous giver. You open your hand and money flows. Money flows in, money flows out. Money flows in and money flows out. When the money flows out, you know how to create it again without labor. You know how to create it again without labor. And you're able to do it with ease. Does that make sense? Let me know what y'all think about freedom, the difference between independence and freedom. Independence and freedom. There is a substantial difference between the two for me. Let me check the comments. Oh, you were able to invest 80% of your income during the pandemic because we couldn't do anything, right? Exactly. Yes, girl said she needs that freedom. Yes. Okay, so it made sense to you. Okay, good to hear. Good to hear it. Yeah, Nina says she loves the analogy. All right, ladies. So let's get into the last one. Stage 7. But before I move on, hold on. Y'all like this video yet? Did y'all like the video yet? Put some money babies in the chat if you like the video. I ain't sharing stage 7 until y'all like my video. I ain't sharing stage 7 until you like the video. Let me know you like it by putting some money babies in the chat. If y'all are picking up what I'm putting down, put some money babies in the chat and like the video. Kimmy says stage 6 sounds exciting. Becoming a generous giver from abundance. Yes. Becoming a generous giver from abundance. You're giving from your overflow. And that's why I don't like it when I hear my people say, I don't need to be rich. I just want enough to XYZ. Because that's so self-thinking. If you have the potential to become rich, why wouldn't you want to be? It's because you have that scarcity mindset and you're also associating riches and wealth with a negative connotation. That's that scarcity mindset. Wealth does not mean selfishness. Wealth does not mean greed. If you are not a selfish person, if you are not a greedy person and you become wealthy, you won't be automatically become greedy and selfish just because you're wealthy. If you're a generous person, you can be wealthy and more generous. And for my religious people out there, y'all know I'm a God girl. I'm openly Christian. I talk about my faith. In fact, I feel called to do what I do. I do not believe you can serve God and serve money. I don't love money, but I do believe I can serve my God with money. He orders me to do things all the time. And I'm able to do it because he's given me the wealth to do it. Wealth is not greedy. Wealth is not selfish. So I want you to release that association if you have it. Wealth is available to you. Invite wealth to you. Stop repelling it. Stop repelling wealth away from you. You can be wealthy, and that will not make you a greedy person. It will not make you a selfish person. When you enter the stage 6 of financial freedom, you can use your abundance to be a generous giver. And if you're a Christian, you can use your abundance to fulfill the will of God. And whatever you've been ordered to do. My God doesn't want me to struggle. My God doesn't want me to stay in stage 4. Oops, let me back up even more. In stage 1, where I started in the gutter. My God didn't want me in stage 1. I believe I have what I have today because he's given it to me. It's the gift that he's given me. So I don't believe that the Bible says we have to struggle. I don't believe it. And I'm not going to get up here and quote scripture and start preaching or anything like that. But I want to address that because I notice a lot of our people in our community, we repel the wealth. We repel wealth and we resist wealth because we associate money with sin, or we associate money with greed, or we associate money with selfishness. It is not any of those things. If you are not greedy, if you are not selfish, you are not going to become those things just because you become wealthy. You can be wealthy and generous. You can have money that's beyond your needs. And you can use your abundance to help others. So stop resisting wealth. I want you to transition into a more abundance mindset so you can be open to receiving it. Because as long as you are mentally resisting it, it makes it harder and harder for you to build wealth. Right? I see the money babies. I see the money babies in the chat. Yes. Yes. I see the money babies. Look at Eileen. That ain't money babies, but I like that emoji too. That ain't money babies, but I like that emoji too. And say, Black Women Wealth. I welcome wealth wholeheartedly in my life, and I am worthy of it. I like that. I like that. I encourage all of you to say what Black Women Build Wealth just said in the comments. Say that to yourself. I welcome wealth wholeheartedly in my life, and I am worthy of it. That's good, good. That's good, good. Put that on a t-shirt, put that on a mug, put that on some merch and sell it. And I am worthy of it. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I like that. I agree. I don't believe he wants us to suffer. Suffering is painful. So why would the Creator want that for his chosen people? Yes. Yes. I would. No, I don't want to preach. I'm not getting into that. But I agree with you. Why would our Creator want that for us? Why would our Creator want that for us? Why would he want us to struggle? Why would he want us to struggle? Because he doesn't. He doesn't. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. Let's move on to the last one. The last stage. The last stage is financial legacy. It's financial legacy. At this stage, you can focus on creating a lasting impact beyond yourself and beyond your own needs. So legacy wealth is when you start estate planning. Well, not start. You should be estate planning at any point you have assets. But this is really where you're putting the pen to paper and you're deciding, making decisions for the generation that comes behind you. But not only are you passing on an inheritance to your beneficiaries, you should also be passing on your financial wisdom within your family and within your community. Because if you pass on money and you don't pass on the wisdom with it, and they don't know what to do with it, and they're still in stage 1 or stage 2 or stage 3, what do you think is going to happen with everything that you've worked so hard to build? What do you think is going to happen if you leave your children $1 million portfolio and you didn't also give them the wisdom to manage the money? Right? So legacy wealth is passing on the financial wealth as well as the financial wisdom. They go hand in hand. They go hand in hand, right? And you can pass that on within your family or within your extended community. So once you learn how to build wealth, in this stage, it's your responsibility to pass it on. It's your responsibility to share what you've learned. It's your responsibility to share your knowledge with others. Pass on the financial resources as well as your financial wisdom so you can benefit future generations, multiple generations. Again, this is beyond you. It's not just what you need. It's not about me, 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 me. When you start entering stage 6 and stage 7, it's no longer about you anymore. So this isn't about being selfish or being greedy. This is about the impact that you can have on others, right? In a few ways to reach the legacy stage, once you achieve the financial independence, you're developing that abundance mindset, you're moving into financial freedom. But a few ways to reach the legacy stage is first and foremost that estate planning to transfer your wealth. That estate planning to transfer your wealth. And this is something you will have to pay for. So if you got through all the stages without an advisor, without experts, you just watching YouTube University or, took a few classes and you got here on your own, kudos to you. But once you get to this stage, you need licensed professionals to help you because you want to do it correctly. You don't want to have accumulated all this wealth and then Uncle Sam takes most of it from estate taxes, gift taxes, probate. You don't want to lose the majority of it to Uncle Sam and court fees. So this involves estate planning to properly transfer your wealth to wherever you want it to go. It can be your grandchildren, your children. It can be your alma mater. It can be a cause that you believe in. All of that should be in your estate plan. And I'm a fan of a trust fund. I'm a fan of establishing a trust, right? If you have children, wills are very, very important because you need to make sure you're expressing your wishes for what you want done for your children, for who's taking care of your children. But for the wealth that you have, you want to put that in a trust and clearly identify what your wishes are and how you want to transfer your wealth. And you need a lawyer for that, an estate planning attorney, not just any attorney, an estate planning attorney, right? And depending on the value of your assets and depending on how complex your plan is, that will determine how much that attorney will cost. And I don't believe that you have to be super duper wealthy to have an estate plan. I believe once you get to stage 4, because most people, they get stuck between stage 2 and 3. Once you get to stage 4 and you start building assets, you should start thinking about estate planning. As long as you have assets that can pass on to someone else, you should start thinking about estate planning to transfer your wealth, right? And putting it in a trust, it gives you control over it now, and you still have control even long after you're gone. Right? So you want to start estate planning to transfer your wealth once you start building your assets. You don't have to wait till you have multi-millions, right? The second thing is educating others on what you've done and what you've learned and how you got to where you are today. Share it. Share it openly. Share it freely. Again, that tight fist, nothing flows in. Nothing flows in. Share what you've learned so other people can know how you did what you did, how you got to where you are. All these stages that I'm sharing, these are stages that I went through on my journey, right? I'm teetering between stage 6 and 7 right now. I'm not really in 7 right now, but I'm teetering. But part of getting to stage 7 is educating others, sharing what you did, sharing how you did it. I was on welfare for 10 years. I now have financial freedom. I don't work. Your girl ain't got no job. I share what I've learned. I share my experiences. I share the things I've done. I share how I've done it. I will share it with anybody that's willing to listen. That's why I created this YouTube because I like talking about it so much. My family got sick of me. So I come on YouTube and talk to y'all because I love it so much. And another thing is leaving a financial legacy so that those who are coming up the rear behind you don't have to start all over from stage one. You want to leave a legacy so that the people coming behind you don't have to start all over from stage one. If it has taken you 20 years, in fact, let me be honest, let me be transparent. I'm talking about myself now. It took me 20 plus years to get from stage one to teetering between stage 6 and 7. If there's anything that I can do to help the people I love not have to start all over, go all the way back to the beginning, all the way stage one again, if there's anything I can do to prevent that, that's part of my legacy. Now, I can't make anybody do anything. I can share all the information. I can tell you the what, why, how, when, where. But if you're not ready to receive it, ain't nothing I can do about that. But I at least want to make sure that I am transferring the wealth and the wisdom so that if you are ready to receive it, you don't have to start all the way at stage one. I want my loved ones in the beginning. I have two little cousins graduated high school a year apart, back to back. I'm trying to help them get started at stage 4. I want their beginning to be between stages 3 and 4. Their high school graduations, I'm buying passports, I'm starting Roth IRAs. I'm sharing information on the YouTube, and God knows I hope and pray that they're watching and learning. Right? My daughter, I hope and pray that she's watching and learning. She's in different phases and stages in her life too, and may not be ready to receive it. But the information is there when my legacy is ready to receive it, because I don't want them to have to start in the gutter where I started. I want my legacy to be, I help them get a head start. I help them have leverage so they could start at stage 3 or stage 4. Because stage 2 is where most Americans are and where they get stuck. I would love for my legacy to be able to skip the first 3 stages if they're ready to receive what I openly share. Right? So this legacy stage is about passing on your wealth and your wisdom and leaving a legacy behind. Not just for your family, but for your extended community. Everyone I touch, everyone within the sound of my voice, I pray that I leave something behind that you can receive and that it helps you to progress through the stages. Right? So those are the 7 stages. Let's see if we can recap them. What is it? Financial, hold on. I got them. Hold on. Let me pull up my notes. I'll just recap the titles of them, not going into detail again. If you missed it and you're just joining us live, you can watch the replay. Stage 1, financial dependence. Stage 2, financial solvency. Stage 3, financial stability. Stage 4 was financial security. Stage 5 was financial independence. Stage 6 was financial freedom or financial abundance. And stage 7 was financial legacy. So tell me in the comments, what money stage do you most identify with? But more importantly, I hope I have shared something with you that helps you understand how you can move into the next level, if that's what you desire. Right? Let me know in the comments what stage you most identify with. And I just want to remind everyone that if you are entering stage 4 and you want to learn how to invest, I invite you to get on the email list for my group coaching program, Invest with Ease. Invest with Ease. Let me see if I can grab that link again for anyone that's just joining us. I invite you to sign up for the email list so that you are notified when enrollment opens again. I only open enrollment once per quarter because while I'm in my legacy stage and I want to pass on the wisdom, I'm also free. So I don't want to exchange my time for work. This is not a full-time job for me. This is something I do for the love of it. So I only open enrollment for this coaching program one time per quarter. So get on the email list so you will be notified when enrollment opens again in Q1 of 2024. And because I keep the cohort small, when that link drops, make sure you sign up. And I usually offer bonuses and incentives for the first few ladies that sign up. But if this video has been helpful for you in any way, please hit that like button and share it with a friend. So your girlfriends, your family, your cousins, your sister, your auntie will understand the stages of money and also be able to identify where she is and how she can get to the next level. So please share the video with everyone that you know. Let me check the comments. So Gail said she is in financial security. Awesome. L is in stage 4. What was that? I think that was financial security, right? Yeah. Venus is between 3 and 4. So all of you are beyond the average American because the average American teeters between stage 2 and 3. Eileen, you're so welcome. Thank you for all the knowledge. I'm definitely taking these tips so I can make it to 4 and beyond. I like that. Yes, girl. Yes. Elle, you're welcome, sis. You're welcome. And Greta, hey, Greta is between 2.5 and stage 3. Yeah, that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal. But in the next video, I'm so excited, y'all. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet. But those of you that follow me on Instagram or follow her on her social media, y'all know we've been together. So y'all know we've been cooking up something for y'all. I can't share the details yet, but I will say in the next video, I have a surprise for you. And I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it. We had some great ideas. We put our heads together. We were thinking about how we can serve the community even more. And we putting something together for y'all. We baking something in the oven for y'all. So stay tuned. I don't know if we're going to do it live or pre-recorded, at least the first one, but it might be before next Friday. So make sure you're subscribed and turn on that notification bell so you will be notified when that surprise comes. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And if you follow me on social media, you know who I've been with. So you know, you probably have an idea what we're cooking up. But this is for you. We have had so many conversations and we're like, how can we help our sisters? How can we help the community and make it fun? And we started brainstorming and it just aligned so perfectly. And this is how I know it's in divine order. It's part of our divine order that we are to do this because it happens so easily, so seamlessly. And I love the idea. And it's not work related at all. It takes no effort. It's something that comes naturally and it's going to be fun. And I think you'll enjoy it. But anyway, we have been on for over 2 hours this time. Kimmy, do you have a membership or Patreon? I do, but I haven't announced it yet. And it's accessible if you look around on my channel, but I haven't announced it yet because I want to do a separate video about it so you can understand what it's about and how I'm going to use it. but I haven't openly shared it yet. But I do have a membership, and you can see it if you look around on my YouTube channel. But I will announce that and share more information in December. Okay, but thank you for asking that. Yeah, you're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to it. Like I'm so giddy. I'm so giddy and I'm so excited. I feel like a little schoolgirl. Like I can't keep secrets, y'all. So I'm gonna get off of here now before I spill all the beans and tell y'all. And go ahead and tell y'all what it is. But until next time, continue learning and continue investing so you can achieve whatever money stage that you desire and live whatever you love. Bye for now.